Notre Dame and Georgia, the closest spread of the week for the quarterfinals in the college football playoffs. It's the Sugar Bowl night game in New Orleans, Louisiana.
No.
UGA, 1.5 point favorites, total 44.5.
Ooga.
I want to start on this one. I think this will be the best game of the quarterfinals.
This is Tyler's legacy game.
This is... I stared at this game for so long and could not make a decision, which is hard for me.
Oh, the decision was so clear for me.
No, and so...
So easy.
Look, what a performance from Notre Dame last round. They were up 27-3 until garbage time. 1:27 left in the fourth quarter. Touchdown, onside kick, touchdown, whatever. Notre Dame's coming in with 11 straight wins. One of the most high-powered rushing duos in all of college football, Jeremiah Love and Riley Leonard. Georgia just has the best coach in college football, but now they have Gunnar Stockton at quarterback. I don't know. This is such a hard game for me because I've made quite a bit of money in betting Georgia in the playoff games. That's just something I've been doing for the last, while now, last 3-4 years.
All they do is win.
Betting on Georgia in close spread spots in playoff games usually always works. It's kind of what I did in the SEC championship, where it was like, hey, they think Texas is going to win. Well, they already lost. Georgia's close spread. Let's just bet a lot on Georgia, and Georgia just somehow wins the game because Kirby Smart's better. That's almost where I came to here.
Hey.
I just think all the public and all the sharp money, everyone in the world's betting Georgia on this close spread with the line. This goes against everything I've done in the past and every historical betting trend.
There's no way.
Notre Dame pulls this upset. I think Notre Dame goes to the national championship. I said it before the playoffs. I said it during the season. There's something, I have a gut feel with this Notre Dame team, and I feel like going against that would just be going against everything I use to have a successful betting season, over 50% college, way over 50% NFL. My gut tells me Notre Dame goes to the championship. So, one of my biggest bets of the week, +1.5, Notre Dame against Georgia in Louisiana. Lock that in. Let's go, baby.
Yeah, I'll
Fighting
take the
Irish.
opposite side of that right now, $100.
I'm going to bet a lot more than $100.
All right, I mean, I was just trying to make it.
I
I was just trying to do a head-to-head with you.
No, I don't want anything to do with that. I'm locking in. This is big bet. I don't need any side action with Mike. I'll let you go.
Go ahead,
Mike. Sounds like
you're
ready
to
to
roll.
Yeah, I mean, I think
you know this Georgia
I
team.
think that might be the worst bet I've ever heard of in my entire life.
Sure.
That's just lacking any type of common sense or foresight at all.
No foresight.
This is, first of all,
You literally
if
said
we're not
in our episode that Georgia wasn't contenders because you thought it'd be tough for them to move past this game.
hold on, hear me out.
Gotta hear
Hold on,
him
hear me
out.
out.
Okay.
Stay with him.
I'd love to hear
He
you.
weeps.
Stay
I
with
already
me.
heard him out once. That's why I'm having a hard time.
Stay with me here.
Thinking what
Stay
he's
with me here.
Go ahead.
So I think that Kirby Smart is a far superior coach in this game. Just before we dive into the actual football of it, I think Kirby Smart has a superior mind and intelligence and understanding of the college football playoffs than damn near anybody alive.
Who's the coach in Notre Dame? Wow.
Anyways, I think this Notre Dame team relies heavily on the rushing ability and the mobility of Riley Leonard. I think that Georgia and their ability to scheme defense.
That's what I thought. I didn't think he played for Notre Dame.
Well, that's besides my point.
He played for Ohio State, by the way, for everyone who can hear. Our intern just did some due diligence while Ryan and Mario tried
Thank you,
to show
intern
their
Johnson.
faces
Thank you,
in
intern
conjunction
Johnson.
with what Michael just did.
Thank you, intern Johnson. Anyways, back to what I was saying. I think Georgia's going to be able to defensively scheme against a mobile Riley Leonard that relies on his mobility.
Mobile Riley Leonard relies on the mobility.
Yes, and I think that Georgia will be able to scheme accurately against it with the pure talent and size that they have on that defense. I think it will just shut them down, shut all the lanes down, and Georgia.
So why did you say Georgia wasn't a real contender and would
Because
struggle
he's
in this
salty
game?
that they beat his team twice.
I'm just saying, in
fair.
another video, you literally said this is a spot they're going to have a lot of trouble and they're not going to be real contenders because of that.
I think Penn State would probably be a harder game for them than Notre Dame.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But you said they weren't. Okay, whatever.
I don't think they can win a national championship.
Because when
No.
they play Texas in the 90, they're obviously going to lose.
Yep, that's probably the logic.
Yeah.
All right. Mario.
Okay. Well, I mean, this game's really easy for me. It's just hard to speak because I'm aligning with Mike's side.
Thank you.
But after everything he said, I just want to walk off and
It's
not
tough.
bet this game.
It's tough.
But anyways, no, this game for me actually is really easy. I think the spread is actually a joke. Get it
too.
while you can. This is a game where a spread, I should say, where like I said, they don't have much tape on Gunnar Stockton. He impressed me with what he could do. And I think actually his mobility doesn't get talked about enough because I think his mobility really actually opens up the run for Trevor Etienne as well. Because, I mean, he can always pull the ball and run himself.
Yeah.
They had to put the spread close just because they don't know much about Gunnar Stockton and they know, Notre Dame's a good team. So they just put at 1.5 and like, okay, yeah, give it to Georgia because, they have the advantage for Kirby Smart, but they don't really know how good this team is. I think this team's going to be much better than people realize. I don't want to say Georgia. Yeah, I don't want to say they're going to be better with Gunnar Stockton than Carson Beck because I still have to see it. But that wouldn't shock me if they actually came out. Beck's been very, very subpar.
No. Yeah.
Very subpar this year. He's come up big in some spots, but this team, I think, first and foremost, Kirby Smart, he will never not have his players ready to go. Like, I mean, I've never seen Georgia in a big game this year without, like, their players flying across the screen. Like, I mean, they're going to be ready to go. Marcus Freeman could never trust this guy as a coach. I mean, yeah, he's turned around this team, but this Notre Dame team, listen, this is going to sound weird, but last week against Indiana was a blowout, but it wasn't a convincing blowout. I have to kind of elaborate on that. There was a lot of possessions that actually, Notre Dame went 3 and out on. It was just the fact that Notre Dame's defense and Indiana's offense, which I said was going to get just absolutely bossed around, went 3 and out so many times, and they threw the ball countless times. I mean, there were so many 3 and outs where they threw it 3 straight plays and took off, a minute, and then gave it back to Notre Dame. You give it back to them enough times, yeah, they're going to score. But there were so many possessions in that first half where I was like, listen, if this Notre Dame was really that much more dominant than Indiana, I feel like this game would have been put to bed a little bit earlier. And that kind of showed me all I needed to see with this Notre Dame team. I thought they were good, not elite. And that game, a home game for them, which are not going to have that home field advantage. If anything, this stadium is going to be rocking for Georgia. I just love Georgia in this spot. Big. Wow. I think you take this number, in my opinion, up to like 5.5, 4.5.
Ooh. Damn. Yeah.
I might be riding alone on this.
No, I mean, I might be a little aggressive, but that's how I feel.
No, this is tough because I would have leaned on Notre Dame if it wasn't for the game last week, oddly. I understand the idea of like 3 and outs, your defense being on the field for so long.
I actually agree with that statement. I would have leaned on Notre Dame until I watched them play Indiana at home in a playoff game. And that actually made me move off them.
Yeah, I think there's no way. Indiana's defense looked amazing, in my opinion. I think they just gave up one bad play. It was one 98-yard touchdown that most 90% of the time.
To start the game.
90% of the time, it's at least a 10-minute drive or a field goal or whatever it is. Yeah, it was an unbelievable run. Amazing for them. But I just don't think that I think Georgia's defense is tiers above Indiana's defense, and there's no way if they're barely rushed against Indiana's defense, besides one play, which I guess you have to factor in the one play sometimes, so I am, but I just don't think Georgia's going to give that up. The rest of everything in between that looked mediocre in my opinion. Riley Leonard threw the ball a little more because the run wasn't efficient.
A couple good throws. I mean, he's going to have a couple good throws, don't get me wrong. Yeah. He's had talent. I just think that it's not going to be enough. And Kirby Smart, I'm telling you, this defense is genius. Well, Riley Leonard is never, ever in his life, and never will again, because I think they're going to lose, going to see a defense like this. He's never had to face a defense like this ever in his career. And I think this is going to be the one that smacks him in his face. And I think the turnover is going to be a big thing. Not only are the picks, I think, good for a pick, I think he's going to get hit for the first time in a while, and it's going to be the fumbles. He's going to have to he's going to be running 11, 12 times at least a game. I like Georgia a lot here. I think it's not a blowout just because the way Georgia's going to play. Their offense isn't dominant yet, and they're still playing with a new quarterback. But I do like Georgia controlling the pace of the game for the most part. And Notre Dame having to fight back, we don't see. But we saw it once this year, and they lost the game. Yeah. So, I like Georgia in the spot. I like Tyler's opinion of, hey, why bet against a team that's literally done it for you every single time you've ever bet them? Yeah, I'm going to ride with Georgia. Yep. Yeah, usually I'd be with you. Usually this is a consensus pick.
It's like your flip. Like the team that's never done it, you're betting on, versus the team that's always done it.
It's one of those gut feels I can't fade. They've worked for me this season. So
you can't disagree with your gut.
Got to ride with it. We'll see what happens. Go Fighting Irish. Let's get it, Notre Dame.